Welcome to my altar space. This morning I'm going to share with you a little bit of the backstory of this angel that you see situated on the center of my altar. It's actually a candle, and it was given to me by the Reverend Renee Machiniak, and it was given to her by the Reverend Dorothea Harvey. Within my denominational body, Dorothea Harvey was the first woman ordained into the ministry of the Swedenborgian Church of North America. And so she holds a very distinguished position within our tradition as the first woman to inhabit this ministerial role. So receiving this candle from Renee was really special, and she gave it to me during a worship service that she was leading at the end of one of the first Be Love retreats that I have facilitated out at the Elmont New Church Assembly in Michigan. So here I was embodying this new ministry, this new way of being church that I call Be Love, Be Honest, Be Useful. We'd had this great retreat together. And then she led this worship service and she gave me this candle as a gift. And Renee, she's given me a lot of gifts in my life. I shared last week the wood carving of the Ascension, which was also a gift from Renee. Renee was my first mentor as a new seminary student. And for her to honor this legacy of women in the church, to name that I am a part of this lineage, was deeply healing to me, deeply meaningful to me. I am doing things differently than my forebearers, and that doesn't mean that I am disconnected from them. It's quite possible if Dorothea were alive today, she would have different ideas about how to be church than I have. And we're connected. And I find this to be really important to me, to honor lineage, to honor the past, to honor what has formed me and how I have come into being. And to recognize that my choosing to do those things differently, to seek to be different than the ones who've come before me, doesn't mean that I'm rejecting them. It doesn't mean I'm severing ties or I'm cutting off a relationship or anything like that. It's actually my attempt to be faithful and honoring of what they gave me, to receive it and then to live it in my own way. And that's one of my deep hopes for my life and for just the world in general. It feels like there has been a habit of believing that to be different from our forebearers is to be in rejection of who they were, to discount or disparage their legacy or their name. But my suggestion is that the healthiest lineages, the healthiest transmissions of life are changing, they're growing. And that our forebearers don't want us to do it exactly as they did it. They want us to do it our way, but to continue to carry this legacy, this tradition, this treasure, which I perceive in the new church is beyond form. It's beyond form, and so it can inhabit many forms, and it inhabits my life today. So I share this bit of my altar to share that legacy, to celebrate Dorothea. And I wonder, when you think about the things in your space, what items you have that remind you of your legacy, of the people that nurtured you into being, the traditions that you carry and hold, and how are you carrying that tradition in a way that honors those who came before you and honors who you are and what you're calling into being that will serve those who have yet to come to be. I hope that's useful to you to reflect on, and thank you, Renee. Thank you, Dorothea. And thank you all for listening.